sure.
That was close. I didn't see that one. That was low and to the right. That was really close. You were just low.
What was it?
Nice!
Yeah!
What's going on, guys? Just want to do a quick update video on the Para 1911 that I have and the grip safety issue that I was running into. After a little bit of encouragement from Nobuzzkillin I, I decided I would take it apart and see if I could determine what the issue was. I've never taken the lower portion of a 1911 apart, so I was a little bit apprehensive about doing that. But I got through it and got it back together. I did have a few issues trying to get it back together just because I'm not that familiar with it. But I never really found out or could figure out what the issue was within the safety mechanism. But the problem is that once I got it back together, the grip safety now functions and is working. I can't pull the trigger now, even if I don't have the grip safety depressed like I showed in my last video. I was able to pull the trigger. Now it doesn't happen, so I don't know. There must have been something in there that resolved itself after I put it back together, but it is working now. The grip safety is functioning, and I'll show that for you guys. This gun has been safety checked, so we should be okay with pulling the trigger. So I'm going to try to not depress the grip safety and demonstrate that it is now working. So I'm just going to use my thumb, try to push it in, and I'm using a fair amount of force and it is not falling. So if I press it in, I can get it to fall. So grip safety is now functioning, so I'm not going to send it back to Para. I'm going to go ahead and keep it as is. Last trip to the range this past weekend, I actually did not have any failure to feeds, which is a new thing for me. Of course, I only shot about 50 rounds this last range trip. I had several other guns that I was shooting. But generally within the first 50 rounds I'll have 1 or 2 failure to feeds. But this last trip, luckily I did not, so I'm hoping that it's actually getting broken in, and the failure to feeds will stop happening and it will become more reliable for me. If it doesn't, I'll send it back to Para and tell them that it continues to have a failure to feed problem. That includes with the new Wilson combat mags that I picked up as well. I did have the failure to feeds there as well, but this time out I did not. So hopefully that's going to be better, and it'll become more reliable for me. But anyway, I just wanted to thank Nobuzzkillin for encouraging me to break it down and see if I could figure out what was going on with it myself. I do agree that it's a good idea if you're going to be a gun owner to know your guns inside and out, and being I wasn't that familiar with the 1911 platform, it's one of the reasons why I was a little bit nervous about dealing with it, but I feel like I have a little bit more knowledge of it now, and I think it was a good idea for me. So with that out of the way, I also wanted to show off something new that I got. I don't know if you noticed in the background here, but I've got a new, this box obviously isn't the Para box, it's a Ruger box. This is the little plinking toy that I picked up. I actually had to search for this for a little bit before I could find the exact model that I wanted. But I did finally get this, and I took it out of the range this past weekend, and it was a fun little toy for me. So I'm going to show it off for you guys real quick. Of course, this is the Ruger Mark III 2245, and this particular model has the bull barrel without the threaded end, and of course it did come with the top rail that you could stick up there for mounting an optic, but I didn't want the one that comes with the bottom rail and has the 4.5-inch barrel. I wanted the Target model, which just has the 5.5-inch barrel, bull barrel, and also the removable grip panels that you can also take on and off if you'd like to replace those. Of course, I like the way this gun looks just as it is. The one thing I'm sure I'll do eventually is pick up a one of those pack light barrels from Tactical Solutions for it, and put that on here. And then also, you know, while I'm in the process of doing that, then we'll see about getting a threaded barrel, and I'm also interested in getting a suppressor from maybe from Tactical Solutions or something like that, someplace like that. I'm hoping not to spend too much money on that, but of course the pack light barrels are, I think, like over $300, which is, you know, this gun was under $300, so you know, I'm going to be paying the same price or even more for the pack light barrel than I paid for the gun itself. So that's going to be kind of interesting, but we'll see how that goes. I really like this gun though. This thing worked really well at the range. It was really fun, very accurate, and you know, it's always nice to take out a brick of 22 and just shoot, and you know, just have fun. Didn't have any failures with this the first time out, which was nice. I was expecting some failures just because it's 22, but I also used some pretty good 22 ammo. I used the CCI mini mags, and those were flawless for me. I also have some Federal, a brick of Federal. I think they're 550 rounds of 22. I didn't shoot those yet. I wanted to go ahead and throw some really nice 22 ammo through this first, and next time out at the range, I'll shoot some of the Federal and see how it does. But first time out, 300 rounds through it, and it performed without a hitch, no problems whatsoever. It was very nice. I also picked up from Midway USA something that's called the Ultimate Clip Loader. I don't know why they call it the clip loader when obviously most of us call these magazines, but tried that out, and it actually worked pretty good. It has a little bit of quirks to it. I don't know if anybody's familiar with it, and I'll probably do a video on it eventually, but it was actually really nice. You know, again, it wasn't perfect, but I think it was worth the $22 or $23 that I paid for it, because it saves your fingers for sure, and it's not that difficult to use even when it doesn't work the way it's supposed to. Basically, you take your clip and you put it up into the mechanism of the clip loader, and it's supposed to drop 10 rounds in there in about 2 seconds or something like that, but sometimes you have to work with it. But even when you have to work with it, it's still much better than having to load those in manually one at a time. So I'm excited about that. It worked really well, and I can probably tweak it a little bit and get it to work even better. So just wanted to show off this a little bit and let you guys, you know, see this particular little pistol. This thing was really fun to shoot. I really enjoyed it, and I'm glad I picked it up. I think this is going to be, you know, one of those guns that I was really excited about, or am really excited about, and hope to get lots of shots down range with it, and I'm sure I will. Had the girlfriend shooting it, and she loved it. It's a little bit heavy because it's bull barrel. Obviously, you know, it's a pretty thick barrel there, but you know, once we get the pack light on here, it's going to make it even that much lighter and that much more fun, I think. So you know, eventually I'll get that, and as soon as I get that pack light on here, I'll do a video on it. But for now, this is going to suffice as a really fun plinking gun, and we'll be shooting hundreds of rounds through this each trip, I'm sure. So just want to show this off to you guys. If you guys have any comments or questions about either the Para and the issues that I was having with it, or this little gun right here and what I think of it, or, you know, any more information you want to know about it, then just let me know. I've taken this thing apart several times, and it has been pretty difficult to get, apart and back together. But I think, like most people say on their videos and getting this, it's just a matter of getting it broken in. And once that happens, then it'll be a little bit easier to take apart and put back together. So I think already the taking it apart has become a lot easier. The putting back together is still pretty difficult because I have trouble getting this pin in the mainspring housing back in. But overall, it's well worth dealing with that for how much fun you can have with this thing out at the range. So I was excited to get this thing. If you guys have any questions though, just let me know, either on the Para or this 2245, and I'll certainly answer those if I can. All right, guys, talk to you later.